Okay, guys, new project. Y'all know my drill press. It says Vermont American, part number 7902 for 1/4 and 3/8 drills. This one I got, I believe that's half inch. No, that's 3/8. I'm sorry. Well, anyhow, what I want to do is improve this. I've started using this quite a bit, and I noticed some things that I don't like about it. Number one is, look at this tubing. That's 1 inch diameter, but that's conduit. I could bend that by cutting a good fart. Anyhow, I found some 1 inch tubing. That's that's 1/8 inch wall there. That's going to be a lot more rigid. If I could find one that was solid. I mean, this is about 18 inches, and I want to bring it up to 24. And I may do a plate. I mean, look, there's just a nut holding that in. I just don't know how rigid that is. I'd like to find some sort of way to make this braced better on the bottom piece. I like the fact that this piece of wood can be replaced. It's got a decent stand here. It's not heavy duty by any means. But for me drilling wood holes, I need to have something kind of precise. Now, I took this cover off and greased it up. Now, you hear how it doesn't make any noise? Nice and smooth. Now, this has a setup too. Look at that right there. You can drill sideways. You can put that on there on sideways. So what I want to do is kind of try to improve this thing. Now, last night I worked for 2 hours. It's called a chuck, and it's missing the cover to it. It came off this, and I was trying to I was turning that, and I didn't know that I couldn't see up underneath there. There's a piece that was covering this, and so I couldn't see this part to separate this from this. This is right-hand threads, and then I found a screw in the middle, which I had to take a drill and drill that out, because the first thing it did was strip the top part out, like usual. So what I'm looking at doing is that this was a hand tighten one. I want one with a regular chuck. A regular chuck would be like this. Takes that little funny tool, takes a tool like this. That's what I'll be purchasing next. Go over to Harbor Freight and buy one of these chucks to replace this. Now on this one, this is an old drill I got. And you see I put this right here. The reason I did that is when it's in its, it has a piece of metal right here that attaches right here and pulls down from here. I'm going to put a turnbuckle and tighten it from here and drill a hole and tighten it that way. This I'm trying to keep parallel. I've kind of noticed, and you kind of look at it right there. I mean, I'm kind of eyeballing it, and it doesn't look parallel. And I may have to take this piece off and drill it some or relieve it to get that piece in more. But like I said, I want to improve this. I'll probably zip tie that out of the way, get it over some way like that. It seems to be getting in the way off over here. And you know, it's easy to turn on. You pull the trigger and hit that at the same time, and you lock it down, and so it's running. So I mean, that's an old drill. I'll get me another drill to replace it. Here is a spot for a guide. You put a guide rod in there. This will lock it in place, and then you go down and drill a consistent depth all the time. And also, that's what that thing is for there too. So, I'm just looking at some things. Here's a little drill table and a tubing holder to make this better. And I'll start a video series on this, and we'll get this fixed up and as a tool I could use forever. It was my dad's. If I remember right, I bought it for him as a gift many years ago, and I just found this recently, and I thought, man, this is something I want to hang on to. So I'm going to use this pipe. It does need cleaned, and try to make it better. Make this better. Anyhow, let me get on to the other video, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Okay, another video on the drill press. Now, I worked on the motor for the drill, and as you can see, I finally got the chuck off. And what I've done on this back side is I drilled a hole and put right there, and it kind of, the hole wasn't big enough, and this was all spread out, so I went ahead and put some clamps right here. What I'm probably going to do is wrap this in tape to get these down. When you turn it on, you got to pull the trigger and then set the trigger lock. See how it stays in? And then pull it and release it. So, and I wanted to get that line stuck out, and it kind of got in the way. So this line is going to go back. It'll fit in here like this. And so the line will be kind of in this direction. What I'm going to do is drill a hole from here and run a turnbuckle to that. That way I could really bring that in tight. And it'll stay good, tight in there real good. Opening this up and greasing that inside worked out real good. Now this is the original pipe. Now if you look at it, that's conduit. Conduit's not thick. And I got thinking, you start hammering, pulling on stuff, and I'm going to bend that. So I thought, I'll get some thicker wall stuff. This is water pipe. It says 1/2 inch. And well, I looked at a bunch of stuff, and let me tell you this, guys. This is a very old piece of conduit. It's exactly 1 inch wide. There is no pipe made anymore that's sold in America that is exactly 1 inch pipe. 3/4 inch on the outside, if I remember right, was a 1/16 of an inch wider than this. And these holes right here will not fit. Same with that one. It has to be exactly 1 inch. So I have me a section, it's not this one that's in my truck, of 3/4 inch pipe that I'm going to take to somebody with a lathe, and they'll have to cut a 32nd off each side to get a 1/16 of an inch down and get that exactly 1 inch. But I want that stiffness. Now I could buy 1 inch solid bar. The minimum length is 36 inches, and that's $40. And I'm like, holy crap. I would like to get an extra base, 1/4 inch plate, maybe 12 by 12, and that way this could be a floating, what you call a floating base, similar like this one on my other drill press. And but this one on the top, I'm thinking on putting some sort of a handle, that way I can pick it up and carry it wherever I need. And this one's going to be portable, going to be lightweight, and that way I can run around and do stuff with it. So this is an update on where I'm at. I've got it disassembled. and I got to get that water pipe turned down, and I may have them true up the ends on it and talk to the guys I know at the machine shop, Glover Machine Shop in Fort Smith. So that's what I was going to do today. I'm going to make a parts run. But other than that, that's where I'm at on this. So let me get off here and get on to the next video. Quick update on my my drill press that I'm working on. This is a 3/8 drill. Harbor Freight only keeps 1/2 inch chucks. The old style chuck. Let me find one. Okay, this is an angle drill, and you see that's the old style chuck. It has a key and a gear system to close the 3 calipers that are in there. This is a hand tighten one. That's what was in this one, and I could not keep stuff tight in there. The vibration would make it loosen up and fall out. So since Harbor Freight didn't have one, I put one on order like this, and I put that back in a spot. I hated to do it, but I went and talked to my machinist, and you remember I had that piece of black, it's cast iron water pipe, and all I wanted him to do is take a 32nd of an inch off each side and bring it down to 1 inch. This is 1 inch size, and that's what fits in that hole right there and right there. Now, today's conduit, I went and looked at today's conduit. Metal conduit is a 1/16 less than it is. This is probably 30, 35 years old. Now the conduit that they're selling you is a 1/16 less than 1 inch, which means the company's making money off your ignorance. And that's how they do business now. All water pipe. There's no pipe out there, there's nothing out there that's in the 1 inch diameter size, except this. This is a solid bar of 1 inch diameter stuff. I went to Tractor Supply and found it. A lot of the, you know, where you pick up this angle iron, and this isn't really angle iron, but it's stuff like this, you know, in the hardware section is where you find this. And that's $40 damn for that thing. I'm going to have to cut, that's 36 inches. So I wanted, what, 2 foot? That other piece was 2 foot. What I want to do is build another base so I'll get this one since it has the ability to be moved. I'm going to weld some sort of handles on these nuts. You see here, right there, and there was another one somewhere. Well, oh yeah. I'm going to weld some sort of handle that's more durable than that plastic stuff. And I'm going to make this one because I'm going to make another base to where I can go up and down with this or move it out of the way. But I'll have a system where I could just undo it myself. Now I noticed that top on that is loose. Yeah. And that's 3/4 board. I may go thinner on that. I'm not sure, but I may even keep it because it's still in pretty good shape. But that's part of the making this thing more useful. And this little piece too has the ability to twist, and it can slide up and down on that, and it has a spot to put tubing in. You want to drill tubing, so this thing is going to be really useful. when I'm done with it. I've got my lock nuts. I've got, this is a turnbuckle. I'm going to go from there to probably somewhere over here to pull it in tight when it fits in here. You know, you're getting my idea. And I need to find like a 10 by 12 quarter-inch plate. No, that's not what I'm going to do. With this piece, I'm going to put a piece of angle iron pointing out on the back side, and then I'll do some angle iron pieces out to make a base on this. So it's going to be nice and sturdy, and still I could use all this other stuff. And at the top, I'll drill a hole and put a handle up here. But that way I could take all them pieces off if I need to slide this out, or that piece out, or that piece out. So it's going to be portable, and then have all these different built-in tools that I could do with it. So that was my update on it. I just got to got the welder out over there, Hobart 140, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to have to get break into my angle iron pile and take a day and build a base and stuff like that. But that's where I'm at. I've got to cut that. I'll use my bandsaw over there, the red one, and that's what I'll use on that. So it's the update. Let me get back to work. Alrighty guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up on the drill press that I was working on. I ended up with a 1-inch diameter bar, and you can see all the components fit in here perfectly. My original plan was to build a different base. Now, I was in the process of marking off. I wanted to do 2 feet of bar, and when I was taking the top off, I accidentally put a mark in around the 19 inch area, and I put a thing around it so I could make a full circle of a mark. And what I didn't realize is that I basically cut one piece is 18 inches long, the other one's piece is 19, so I did not get my 2 foot length that I was wanting. But as they say, you know, make lemonades out of lemons. So that's what I'm doing. That little bar, 3 foot long, 1 inch diameter, was $40, and I'm not going to go dump that again to buy another bar. Maybe down the road when I got a crap load of money, but not right now. So what I've done is go ahead and do the things that I was wanting to do to it. I had the 2 hose clamps right here, and that was to squeeze this together, make sure that bolt wouldn't come out. And I put this, drilled a hole right here to pull this in, pull this tight up against this, so it's not going anywhere. This is down. I got a regular nut and a lock nut on there. Now what I had done is I measured both them. Well, I got as close as possible on the threads that are sticking out. And I may go back, see if I can lay this down without dropping it. I may go back and cut these just to get them out of the way. Now you notice my chuck has not come in. This is the old one, and the plastic has come off it. In fact, it'll still work, and it'll thread on. But this is a 3/8, and a Harbor Freight only sells in their stores 1/2 inch. And so I got a 3/8 on order that has a gear way. Well, well, gear way, it'll look like that. And that one I can get tight. The hand style one I can't get tight, which this originally had. And I'll put some blue Loctite or red and try to get it on there as tight as possible. I marked it, left and right, which way, it runs. The bar right here, 1 inch diameter, is real sturdy. This base seems to be pretty doggone sturdy. And so it has this nut that pushes it, or bolt that pushes it in. I reattached this, threw some stain, a light stain on it. This still has some life in it. I'll still use that board. This piece right here will come in handy for doing tubes or tubing. This is, I guess, for mounting other stuff. I'm not real sure. But it also has the ability to rotate. There's a bolt right there. In fact, it's not straight. Huh. Oh well. Well, most of the time this is going to be turned like this out of the way. So I can adjust this by moving this up and down. I took this off and lubed all that. I did some cleaning. Normally, I don't clean tools and stuff a lot, but this is my dad's old drill press, and I'll have to get me another one of these drills to put up there in the cabinet. But I'm waiting on that. I'll probably trim these, and then I'll call it good on this tool. This will be mostly used to drill holes in wood. And so to turn it on, I'll have to grab it, pull that in, and engage the lock and push it back out to unrelease it. So this was a booger to get it done. Put that nut on there to keep it from sliding out. And I straightened that out and drilled a hole that diameter of that. So also there's some sort of a gauge that'll fit a wire about this size you can put down there, I guess, to measure your depth. And then there's a setup right there to turn this sideways on this mount. But it's another tool for my tool pile. So now that I'm working with wood a lot more, cedar especially, so I'm going to call it good and get this video out and get it published and let you guys see it, see the improvements. And yeah, I made a mistake. I wanted this piece to be taller, but my gosh, I had an accidental mark on it, and I just ran with that. I didn't know. But anyhow, it's a good piece. It's done some good work for me. This, if you go back and look at that video I did of the pot holders, this is what I used, and it worked out really good. And because I was looking at something to use, I got a drill press right there, but it's kind of stuck back. You see, it's not level. And it's not much room around it to do, good stuff with. And so this is portable. I could put it where I want. I could put it on a sawhorse or something like that. So anyhow, giving you guys some good stuff out there. So y'all have a good one, and we'll see you on the next video.